have 6 strings, and in standard tuning, they're going to go from here, your low E, through E, A, D, G, B, and then back to E again. So essentially you've got 2 strings, the high E up here and the low E, which are exactly the same note. So if you were to hold these 2 notes, they're always the same note. So E, A, D, G, B, E again. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. There's lots of different mnemonics to try to remember. And why, do you say, why would I want to memorize those notes? So those notes will help very greatly when you're starting to play chords, to know what chord you're playing and where the root of that chord is. The next thing you want to know is that if you take a note starting at the nut, this is your nut, and this metal thing is your fret, is half a tone or a semitone higher. So you've got E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So it's a good thing to know just that each fret is a semitone up from the previous note. So on this bottom, E, F, F sharp, G. So we're going to learn a couple of chords, and we're first going to start with 1-finger chords. You might say, how is that possible? Is that really a real chord? And the answer is absolutely. You only need 3 notes to form a chord, and that's typically the root note, which is 1, the third, which is 3, and the 5th, which is 5. So in a G chord, there's a G note because I went E, F, F sharp, G. There's my G chord right there. I'm playing this bottom 3 strings. That first G is just taking the E, F, F sharp. There's my G note. There's my B note. In this fingering of the chord, it's G. This string is B. And this string is G. So you actually have you don't have a full chord, but you have G, B, and G. Now we're going to play a C. And a C chord has the root as a C note. And so, can you guess which string it would be on? You've got your B string. And so, half step up from that B is a C. And a C has E and a G in it. C, this is an E, and this note, the open string right here is your G, so there's my C. That's actually a full C chord. It's got the C, the E, and the G. And I go back and play my G. And there I've got 2 chords. If I want to play it quickly, I'd probably play my C chord using my index finger and the G using my ring finger. So I'm just picking this. And I guess I should give you a quick introduction of how to fret your notes. These metal things right here, they're called frets. This is the first fret, the second fret, the third fret. How you want to hold your notes down. Say I'm wanting to fret this string at the 3rd fret. Preferably you want to get as close to the fret before it starts making that kind of muffled sound. And so right here, right here, right here. And of course, I don't need to hold it right there. The other thing you want to think about is how hard you're pushing down. So I want to push down as little as possible. So what I'm going to do is push there. I'm just resting my finger against the E string. I'm going to start pushing down with a little bit more force. And at some point, I can hear the note. That's a nice G. And I can keep pressing down. Doesn't make any difference to the note, but it starts to hurt my finger. So what you want to do is let that off. now I can't hear the note anymore. So right there is super, super light. You can see that I'm hardly putting any pressure on here. And that's what you really want to strive for, because especially when you're beginning, you kind of have a grip of death on the guitar and the strings, and you'll get sore fingers, you'll get sore kind of ridges here. And before you build up calluses, when you're pressing as hard as possible, it's hard to play for any length of time, and it's pretty uncomfortable. Now, the next thing to worry about is how you bring your fingers in. You don't want to just spread your fingers across. There I've got a nice C, but I'm also hitting the lower E string, and so it's not sounding out the way I'd like it to. So what you want to do is come in and essentially push down with the tip of your finger. So those two strings on either side aren't being struck by my finger. There's my C, there's my G. Again, right behind with as little force as possible. And now I can play a tune. Oh, and we were going to add one more chord. So this is my E minor. But if you notice, I'm only holding these two strings down. So these three open are E minor. So the bottom three, the G, the B, and the E, make up an E minor. So now I've got three chords. I've got my G, I've got my C, I got my E minor. And in the key of G, G is the one chord. G, A, B, C. C is the fourth. So G, A, B, C. D is the fifth, and E minor, this chord, which is the three open, that is your sixth. So we're actually playing a 1, 4, 6, and we can play a chord progression in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3. G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3. More guitar theory and lessons like this, check out the playlists, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials like this.